Exploring the ocean's depths has always been dangerous, and subs have always been the best way for brave explorers and scientists to get there. Under the surface, though, there is a haunting past of submarine disasters that can make even the bravest people feel cold. These scary stories about claustrophobic nightmares are a stark warning of the dangers that lie beneath the waves. Their stories will always be a part of our collective recollection because they are so scary. 8. K141 Kursk. The K141 Kursk was a Russian Oscar II class submarine that was powered by nuclear reactors. The submarine was involved in 2 explosions on August 12, 2000, while it was participating in a training exercise in the Barents Sea. The malfunctioning torpedo was the source of these explosions, which ultimately led to the loss of the submarine. Initially, 23 crew members managed to live in the 9th compartment of the submarine. However, it was not possible to rescue them in time due to obstacles such as the tardy response of the Russian Navy and inadequate rescue equipment. Tragically, all 118 members of the crew, including officers and engineers, were killed in the accident. The loss of the Kursk was one of the most catastrophic accidents involving a submarine in the annals of history, and it prompted serious questions over the safety of submarines and the effectiveness of rescue attempts. 7. USS Scorpion. The United States Navy skipjack-class nuclear-powered attack submarine USS Scorpion was a member of the Scorpion submarine fleet. On May 22, 1968, while making its way back to Norfolk, Virginia from a mission in the Mediterranean Sea, the ship Scorpion vanished without a trace. Since the submarine was lost without sending out any distress signals or communicating with anyone on the surface, the precise reason for its sinking is still a mystery. There have been a variety of hypotheses proposed as to what caused the disaster, including technical failures, an accidental discharge of a torpedo, and even a run-in with a Soviet submarine. Tragically, the incident resulted in the deaths of all 99 members of the ship's crew, including officers and members of the enlisted ranks. The circumstances surrounding the sinking of the USS Scorpion are still shrouded in mystery, and they serve as a sobering reminder of the dangers inherent in submarine operations. 6. ARA San Juan, 2017. The ARA San Juan was a submarine belonging to the Argentina Navy that went missing somewhere in the South Atlantic Ocean. The submarine suffered a loss of communication on November 15, 2017, as it was participating in a routine mission with a crew complement of 44 people. An explosion was picked up in the area close to where the submarine was last seen, which led investigators to conclude that the ARA San Juan had been lost at sea. There was a tremendous search and rescue operation carried out on a global scale. Nevertheless, no survivors were located. A massive outpouring of sadness and a recommitment to improving submarine maintenance, safety protocols, and response times followed the disaster. In addition, it brought to light the necessity of enhancing communication and tracking technologies in order to guarantee the well-being of submarine operators. 5. Ming 361. The People's Liberation Army Navy was in charge of operating the Chinese diesel-electric submarine known as the Ming 361. A periscope belonging to the Ming 361 ship was found in the Yellow Sea on April 25, 2003 by a fishing boat. The identity of the submarine was verified by the Chinese Navy. Nevertheless, the next day, the vessel was discovered sunken on the ocean floor, with all 70 of its crew members having perished. Their deaths and the facts surrounding them have not been made public, which has left the occurrence shrouded in mystery. This submarine accident has a creepy and unsettling quality to it, since there is a paucity of knowledge, and there are questions that have not been answered about what happened with the Ming 361. 4. K152 Nerpa, INS Chakra II. The K152 Nerpa was a nuclear-powered assault submarine of the Akula II class that belonged to Russia. She was also known as INS Chakra II. A terrible incident took place on board the submarine in November of 2008 while it was undergoing sea trials. Due to the accident, the ship's fire suppression system was engaged, which resulted in the release of freon gas into 2 different compartments. As a direct consequence of this, 20 members of the crew were killed, and an additional 41 were injured. The accident prompted people to speculate about the events that led to the activation of the fire suppression system and the subsequent fatalities that occurred as the result of those events. Even during routine tests, this tragedy serves as a timely warning of the inherent dangers that are present in all aspects of submarine operations. 3. K129, 1968. The K129 was a Soviet Union submarine that sank in the Pacific Ocean. On March 8, 1968, the submarine went down approximately 1,500 nautical miles northwest of Hawaii. The exact cause of the sinking remains unclear, but it is believed to have resulted from a combination of technical failures. The loss of the K129 prompted the United States to undertake a secret operation, known as Project Azorian, to recover the wreckage and gather intelligence from the Soviet submarine. The sinking of the K129 and subsequent recovery efforts represent a chilling chapter in submarine history and the Cold War era. 2. HMS Thetas. The British T-class submarine HMS Thetas was given its commission in the year 1939. The Thetas ran into a number of difficulties on the first day of her sea trials on June 1, 1939. These difficulties included issues with her torpedo tubes and water leaking through the torpedo hatches. As a direct consequence of this, the ship sank to a greater depth than was intended, which resulted in water entering the vessel. The submarine capsized with 103 people on board despite the fact that measures were made to save the crew, including an attempt at rescue by divers. Tragically, every last member of crew aboard the Thetas perished in the accident. As a result of the catastrophe, major adjustments were made to the protocols for the safety of submarines as well as the underwater escape systems. These modifications ensured that vital lessons were learned from this catastrophic disaster. 1. USS Thresher, 1968. A nuclear-powered submarine belonging to the United States Navy called the USS Thresher went down in the North Atlantic Ocean while it was participating in deep diving exercises. On April 10, 1963, while operating at extraordinary depths, the submarine was involved in a disastrous accident, which led to the death of all 129 crew members who were on board at the time. The loss of the Thresher brought to light the inherent dangers and difficulties connected with operations that take place underwater, which in turn prompted important advancements in submarine safety procedures. The tragic sinking of the USS Thresher had a long-lasting effect on the design, construction, and crew training of subsequent submarines, with the goal of preventing sinkings of a similar nature in the future. Note, it is important to approach these events with sensitivity, considering the loss of life and the impact on the families and communities involved. These 8 submarine disasters serve as reminders of the inherent risks and dangers involved in operating submarines. They highlight the complexities and challenges of underwater warfare and the importance of comprehensive safety measures to mitigate such risks. Subscribe now to get more exciting stories about maritime secrets and scary disasters. Thanks for watching.